you are a spender, a budget gives you permission to spend, okay? Because you know your household's in order, my bills are paid, my lights are gonna stay on, but I can still go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx. So that's where I feel like that's where I'm at, okay? I'm probably gonna go there this evening, but I budget myself out. I plan for that.
Hi, and welcome everyone to the Direct Line podcast. My name is Bethany Toledo McCrae, and I am your host today. I'm so excited. Today, we're joined with Susanna Humbert. She is a work-life specialist with First Financial Bank. I think I met Susanna a couple of years ago, and we became fast friends. And we've been talking about getting this financial fitness series off the ground for a while now. So really excited to introduce Susanna. Susanna, how
Hello,
are you today?
everyone. Good. Hi, Bethany. I always love seeing Bethany. And thank you so much for having me join today to empower our listeners, whoever's watching this around your financial health. We're going to talk about some budgeting today and just help you feel inspired, energized around maybe a topic that's not so fun to talk about, budgeting. Hopefully after today, you'll feel better about it and more confident that you can stick to a budget that works for you and your family.
All right. And Susanna has a PowerPoint presentation for us today. So if you've got a pen close by, get out your notepad, maybe take some notes, and you can always watch this again later. If you are listening, there will be things that Susanna refers to and even her contact information. We will put all of that in the show notes for you. So don't worry if you can't capture it right away. Are you ready to get started, Susanna?
I'm ready. Let's go, Bethany. So we're so excited to bring this financial fitness series to you, to bring financial health right at your fingertips. So all the DSPs listening to this, those of you who are viewing this maybe on YouTube, now you have access to true financial health, regardless of where you do your personal banking. I am here to empower you around budgeting, credit, debt management, whatever your financial goals are. Here's a couple of key facts around me and a QR code. So if you scan this QR code, this is actually a direct way that you can get in touch with me confidentially about your finances. What do you need assistance with? Do you want a little bit of help boosting your credit? We do all that for free to help empower you for the life-changing work you do every day. This is our way of giving back.
Wow. So you can give free advice? Like I don't have to bank with you?
You do not. That's what makes our program so unique is that regardless of where you do your banking, we're here to help you thrive in work and in life. You do it for so many others. This is our way of giving back to you and the community to help empower you around your financial health. We all take walks every day, right? We try to get our 10,000 steps. And I know with what you do for a living, you're very active, but sometimes our financial health isn't at the forefront. It does absolutely impact you. So this is a great way, a great resource that you can utilize at no cost to help you get to your goals and maybe relieve some of that stress you might feel when you go home with your family, help relieve some of that stress.
That's amazing.
Here's just some key facts, Bethany, around the First Work Life program. So I've helped many DSPs. So I get the great pleasure of actually partnering with organizations out there. And I've helped many DSPs turn their credit around, buy homes, do things they never thought was possible. And that's all through our First Work Life program through First Financial Bank, which I'll tell you a little bit more about our bank here in the next slide. So First Financial Bank has been around since the 1800s. We've been around for a long time out there. So we serve Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. We're there to help service your banking needs. And if you want to find out more, you can go to bankatfirst.com. I will not bore you by reading all these bullet points, but you can find out a lot more information on our website.
Oh, I'm so excited, Susanna. This is going to be great.
Okay, so Bethany, you spoke about financial fitness. These are just a couple of the topics that we're going to be covering as you listen in. So as we change topics and as the months go by, remember to log in and listen to see what topic we'll be covering next.
Okay, so we're not going to cover all of these today then.
No, today is just budgeting. So we're going to focus on budgeting, help you feel inspired, encouraged around budget, and then we'll move on to other topics.
All right, sounds great.
So let's dive in. So these are the couple things you're going to learn today. You're going to learn what is a budget. You're going to learn more about the 50-30-20 rule, how to stick to a budget. You're going to learn the importance of an emergency fund. These are just a couple of things that we're going to cover in our time together today. Okay, so you're going to learn about the zero-based budget. Okay, which is one of my favorites. You're also going to learn about the pay yourself first budget, the envelope method, and the 50-30-20 rule. So Bethany, have you heard about any of these budgeting tips before? Any of these budgeting strategies in the past? Or do you do
I
any of
think
them yourself?
I think at one point I tried to use the envelope method. And is that where
Okay.
you're using cash?
Oh,
Yes.
Bethany,
Okay.
that is the old way. That is such a great
I'm
way.
old, Susanna.
So let's talk about the modern way. Okay, so if I'm being honest, the envelope method is probably the method I use in my everyday life and that I truly share with individuals, but they're used to the exact way, Bethany, that you use the envelope method. You put cash in there, and there actually used to be books that people would buy with little envelopes to help them budget. Whatever you do, please do not have envelopes of cash laying around your house. We're going to do the more modern way that you can set up an envelope system. So either with First Financial Bank, which we would love to have you, or with your current bank, what you can do is you set up separate checking accounts. Okay. So with our checking accounts, I can't speak about other banks, but as part of this program, since you're listening in, you qualify for free checking and savings. You can have as many checking accounts as you want, and they're free for you. So what I personally do is I have envelopes set up for my different expenses. I have a date night envelope for my husband and I. I have an Amazon envelope. So to keep track of my spending, because Amazon can get out of control sometimes. So I have envelopes for vacation for different things. And so what I do is I go into my online banking and I nickname my accounts. Okay. So I decide, okay, what am I going to allow myself to spend on Starbucks this next 2 weeks? Because I do have a Starbucks addiction. If you can't tell, I have a lot of energy and I need that coffee. Okay. But I actually set myself a goal. I put that money in that envelope. And what happens when it's gone, I'm no longer going back to Starbucks. My husband and I will sit down together and decide, okay, here's our date night budget for the month. So we hold each other accountable. So sometimes we're taking a walk. Okay. So I'm hoping for nice weather here soon so we can take more walks. But sometimes we don't have a lot of money in that date night fund to go out to eat. So you know what? It gets you to be more creative, to maybe do more things outside, more exercise, but it's a way to hold, especially if you're in a relationship, to hold your partner or spouse accountable by setting up those envelopes. Even for my credit card, every time I swipe my credit card, I transfer money to my credit card envelope. So my bill comes, I can pay it in full. So Bethany, do you think maybe you could try the online method of envelopes instead of the physical
Well, so
cash?
I didn't even know that there was a such thing as an online digital version of envelopes. So
There
yes, I
is.
definitely will give it a whirl. I will tell you, I fell off of the envelope wagon years and years ago. So it was something that I learned a long time ago. Did it for a while, but
Hmm.
yeah, I had no idea that there was a digital envelope method for kind of deciding what you're going to spend in different categories. So that's really
Yes.
really neat.
Yes, and just for a little tip, because some people are like, "Do I have if I open up 5 checking accounts, do I have 5 debit cards?" No, you actually need 1 or 2 debit cards, and only one of those accounts actually need to receive direct deposit. Then you disperse the funds after you set a goal, which we're gonna go over more because 'cause we're gonna look at your budget and see where you can kind of set goals for yourself. But let's say that you do your budget, which we'll talk about, and you decide, "You know what? I wanna spend less on eating out or less on the groceries and getting groceries that end up going to waste." You put that money into that account, right? And you can see it in real time and you can adjust it. So when you're first starting to budget, maybe things aren't going your way, but it's nice because you just transfer money from your direct deposit account into these different buckets. And then you have that debit card that you can transfer and use that one debit card. You do not need to be carrying around 5 different debit cards, but it is a great way to monitor your spending because many of us have our direct deposit go in one account and we're swiping our debit card to buy groceries, to pay bills, you can absolutely lose track of your spending when you have it all just going into one account. So that's why I highly suggest one of the most effective ways is the envelope method. And so the envelope method, as I spoke about, is one of my favorites, but there's also called the zero-based budget. And so some people love to budget that way. So it's still a very powerful way to budget. So what happens is every dollar you earn has a job. You don't have money to sit in an account doing nothing. You either have it paying off debt, going into a savings account, going into one of your envelopes for a purpose. That is a zero-based budget where every dollar you earn has a job. The other option many people enjoy is the pay yourself first budget. So, how that works is you allot yourself every time I get paid, I'm going to pay myself a certain amount first, and that is the pay yourself first budget. And you have to be careful with that sometimes. Some of us may feel like we don't have, I can't save, I'm living check to check, things are expensive. It can be as little as $10 to $100, whatever fits your financial needs, but making sure you're putting some money away, no matter how small, baby steps are still a step in the right direction. So give yourself credit for making these changes and saving money no matter the amount. It's still a good step forward. And lastly, the 50-30-20 rule, which we're actually going to dive into. This is also a great way to budget and give you a good guideline of where your income should be going in different buckets. So let's dive into the 50-30-20 rule. Okay, so explaining the 50. So 50% of your income that you bring home after taxes should go towards needs. I used to try to convince myself that Starbucks was a need, but it's not. So I realized I'm going to go to Starbucks. Now I just give myself a budget around it. But having your food, having rent, your car payment, right? Having a way to get to work, those would all be considered needs. And the 30. So 30% of your income should go to wants. So what is a want? A vacation, Starbucks, hobbies, pets. These are considered wants. So when you're doing your budget, 50% should go to needs, 30% to wants. But then we have another percentage remaining out there, that 20%. Where should the 20% go? 20% should go to savings. However, if you are paying extra payments trying to pay off debt, so if you're paying over that minimum payment on your credit cards and you're actively trying to pay those credit cards down, that can go into that 20% category. So give yourself credit for that because overall you will save money. And when you get rid of that debt, that'll be a lot more income that you can put into your savings. But remember, this is just a guideline. So we're thinking about the 50-30-20. If you sit down to your budget, which we'll talk about how you can see where you're aligning with that, just know that it's never going to align that way. Okay. But it also gives you a clear picture of maybe I need to kind of trim back on my wants a little bit, even a need, if even groceries is a need, right? But do you need to go to those expensive grocery stores and spend so much money on these organic foods? Maybe you do, but maybe you can go to Aldi's and get them less expensive, right? So just having a guideline of where your money should go. And as you go through this, you will get closer to this 50-30-20 rule.
I like that, Susanna. It seems like a pretty simple,
Mm-hmm.
breakdown of it, three categories. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like that. I think I'll give
Thank
that a
you.
try myself.
There you go. Okay, the importance of saving money. So we all know it's important to save, but what happens is we get stressed out because you know what? Life's expensive and you get let's say that you're doing good, right? You're doing good on your budget and you're trying to save and then all of a sudden you need to get a new tire on your car. How rare is it that you only need one new tire? Bethany, what happens when you find out you need a new tire? What ends up happening by the time you leave Discount Tire or wherever you're going? What do they normally say to you, Bethany?
Oh, they tell you you can't replace just one. You got to replace them all at the same time.
Yes. So that's an unexpected cost that's not fun. It's not like you just detailed your car or got something a new paint job, right? It's new tires. It's like getting a new roof on your house. It's not exciting. It's not fun to pay for, but it's a need, right? You have to have tires for your car. That's what ends up happening. So saving money, even if you have to turn to debt to pay some of that, whatever you have saved offsets the amount that you're going to debt. So if the tires are 800 and you have 200 saved, you're just putting $600 on a credit card, right? Versus the 8. So look at it that way. Any money that you save can offset those future emergencies that you know are going to happen, right? Especially if you have kids out there. We know there's going to be always an unexpected expense. My husband and I have 7 children, so it's you never know. We're always wondering who's going to give us a call, what's going to go on. So my budget's always like this a lot, going up and down, right? But that's life,
Yep,
right? But having these
absolutely.
guidelines in place, having the envelope method helps me stay a little bit sane, right? It does. It helps me a little bit there.
So, Susanna, I think this all sounds really, really great. And so my wheels are spinning right now.
Mhm.
And though it sounds like it's a lot, it's a lot to bite off.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering, like, is there a way that I can track my spending, like, without having to use spreadsheets or, like, download an app that I might have to pay for? Like, what do you suggest?
Absolutely. So number one, you have me as a resource. So even if you're virtual, I can meet with you to help you maybe not be so scared of a budget, to break it down in a more easy way. But there are different ways that you can track spending. There are some free apps out there you can use, but also the envelope method I mentioned absolutely helps with that as well. But what I highly recommend doing, especially if you want to see where you lie with that 50-30-20 rule, and this is going to take some work, but bear with me because I need everyone to listen here to know that if you are a spender, I'm raising my hand. Bethany, are you a spender or a saver? What are
Uh,
you?
I'm a spender. I like to shop.
Okay, my fellow spender. So let me say some good news out here, though, you guys. So if you are a spender, a budget gives you permission to spend, okay? Because you know your household's in order, my bills are paid, my lights are going to stay on, but I can still go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx. So that's where I feel like I love, that's where I'm at, okay? I'm probably going to go there this evening, but I budget myself out. I plan for that, okay? My husband is a huge saver. To give an example, one day, because I'm a spender, so I get excited to go shopping for anything. Because he's like, you know what? I think I need to go shopping for some new clothes. I'm like, oh, tell me more. Tell me more. Let's go. He's like, no, 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 no. I think I'm going to start saving now, and I can go in 2.5 years. I looked
Oh
at him
my
like he was
goodness.
crazy. No, this is a true story. And it used to be, I thought he said 3 years. We actually had an argument about this, a friendly argument. He's like, I said 2.5 years. But bear with me. This is who I'm married to. Okay. So I am a spender. So savers that are listening to this, you probably have no trouble sticking to a budget. It's your life. You probably have so many spreadsheets. My husband has an Excel spreadsheet that's password protected. I can't even get into it. Okay. But if you're not that person, what I recommend doing, and this is a great way to get a peek see into your spending. So I need you, if you're using your credit cards, I need you to print 3 months. So bear with me. It's a one thing, just do it one time. Okay. Print 3 months bank statements, 3 months credit card statements. I want you to grab a thing of highlighters. You're highlighting your gas green, groceries pink, eating out yellow. It'll look like a beautiful rainbow when you're done. But what I want you to do is add up every time you're going out to eat. Okay, you add that all up for 3 months. So you get the total, you divide it by 3, you plug it in. You can do a piece of paper, however you want to do it, an app, however you choose to do it. I do paper. I'm still a paper and pen girl. So going back to your cash envelopes, Bethany, sometimes things stick where I'm still a paper and pen girl. So I write it down. Okay. Same with my spending, my shopping, things like that, whatever it is, right? I divide it by 3, and that gives you a really good peek see into what you're spending. And it's pretty funny because sometimes I'll ask audiences, how much do you think you spend on going out to eat? So, Bethany, I'm going to ask you, how much do you think
Oh.
you spend on going out to eat?
Like, do I spend in a week, a month? Like, what's
A
my time
month.
frame?
What do you think you spend in a month on going out to eat?
Okay, so I would say just for myself, like lunches maybe during the day working.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at packing my lunch, honestly. I probably
Okay.
spend maybe $100 a month eating
That's
out
pretty
for
good.
lunches.
That's pretty good, but it's funny that you say that because I've had people when I'm asking them, they'll say something similar to you, oh, maybe 150, 200. And then when we do their budget, they are shocked to see that it could be 600 or higher. So
Oh
you
my
sometimes
goodness.
might be shocked. Well, you forget that every time you're going through and getting a sweet tea at McDonald's, or you have kids in the car and they're hungry, you're getting some chicken nuggets before dinner, all those little things add up, right? So doing your budget, it's a clear way for you to see where your money's going so you can tell it well, actually, where your money went so you can tell it where to go. That's what a budget does for you. You can't pay off debt. You can't have savings goals without knowing where your money is going. It all starts with a budget. Debt management, boosting your credit, it all starts with having a good budget in place. So this is just an exercise that I highly recommend, especially if you have a partner or spouse, or if you have kids of age where they're spending your money. Walking through this, having it on paper, and if you actually reach out to me, like I said, my information will be in the show notes. I will send you a budget sheet that breaks everything down. Include them because I know when my kids were little, we'd be at the grocery store and they'd ask for some treat, fruit roll-ups or something, and I would say, "Nope, that's not in the budget." You know what they said? Pull out that little plastic thing in your wallet. They thought it was like attached to a money tree, right? So having your kids involved is a good rule of thumb. And again, if you are a spender, I'm telling you, as a spender, doing a budget gives you that permission to spend without being stressed out, knowing this is my Susanna. I literally have an account called my fun account. That is my fun money that I can spend on if I want to get my toes done, if I want to do whatever. That is my money, but I budgeted for it. So I feel good. I know everything's taken care of. So budgeting does give you that peace of mind. And I'm telling you, once you sit down and do it for the first time, you set your goals. There'll be weeks, months, you're doing great, and then there's times you're not, but that's okay, right? You need to change things around. And also remember, budgeting is a skill. It does not come easy to everyone. And just because I do this for a living does not mean it comes easy to me. It doesn't. It's still like every day I'm thinking, okay, I'm a gift giver. That's my love language. So trying to stay good and stay in my lane and stick to look at my little envelopes. How much money do I have, right? So just making sure I stick to that, making those sacrifices, you guys, at the end of the day, it is worth it when you're reaching your goals. When you are saving money and you're able to go on that vacation, it means a lot more than that gratification of that immediate gratification of going out to eat. You eat the food, you leave, and you got a $150 tab, a $120 tab. That doesn't feel so good. But knowing that you're putting that money towards a vacation, towards memories, towards debt, paying down debt, that's a lot more powerful use of those funds, right? And just budgeting helps you get a little game plan for your money.
Ah, thank you for those extra tips, Susanna.
You're welcome. So a good way to kick off saving. This is not easy, okay? I know I was a single mom raising 3 children on my own. I will be transparent here. Saving was very hard for me, okay? I was trying to put food on the table, so saving money was very hard. And if you're in a season of life where you do feel like you're living check to check, okay? Many of us feel that way. Even $5, setting something aside, right? Setting yourself with a short-term goal, having long-term goals. But just know that it's okay if you're not going to meet it today. This is over time. But every time you put a little bit of money away, or every time you say no to that online shopping, or you say no to going out to eat and packing your lunch, even packing your lunch 3 days a week can save a lot of money making those small changes. So I give it an example. Let's say you go to Subway, okay? You go to Subway, they lay out the bread, lettuce, tomato, ham, okay? Put mayo on it, wrap it up, $8. Even now, with the way groceries cost, you can go to the clearance aisle, get that gourmet bread for cheap on clearance. It's going to expire in a few days. Heck, I don't care because I'm going to eat it, right? So you can get bread, lunch meat, and some tomato if you want. And I'm telling you, for $8, you can at least eat for a couple of days. So looking at it differently, I had a ham sandwich for lunch yesterday, right? So I go to the grocery, I got a big thing of ham for $5, and I've been eating on that all week long because I have goals, right? And I want to be able to go to Home Goods or Marshalls. I want to be able to do those things. And you can't do it all. You only have the one income, right? So, what is most important to you? So, setting goals and also giving yourself grace when you do fall off the budgeting wagon and it's not working and you feel frustrated, be calm and revisit it and set more realistic goals. But I'm telling you, the first step you have to do is just breaking it down, printing off your statements, seeing how much you're really spending. So, it's okay, Bethany, if I share a funny story with you all.
Oh, sure. Sure.
So I already shared with you that I'm married to a saver. Okay. So we got married in 2016. We probably started planning our wedding around 2014. So being the saver of a husband I'm married to, he says to me, Susanna, if you want this videographer and you want to have these flowers at the wedding, it's not fair for me to be sacrificing. You've got to cut back on your Starbucks. I know that you spend $200 a month in Starbucks. I look at him like he's crazy. Okay. There is no way me, who's in the financial industry, right, spends that much on Starbucks. I march upstairs, I print my bank statements, I'm highlighting all my Starbucks green, I divide it by 3, and I march downstairs. I look at him and I say, just so you know, I don't spend $200 a month in Starbucks. He looks at me with his eyebrow raised. He's like, really? And I said, really? And just so you all know, listening, I spent $350 a month on Starbucks. Okay, so so again, this is where you think you know, but you don't know. This is why I absolutely have a Starbucks fund. I put money into this account, I upload it to my Starbucks app, and once it's gone and I have no stars, then I am not going to Starbucks. Because you know what? The more I practice saying no to things, the stronger I get. I feel empowered. Like, not today, Starbucks. You're not in my budget. I am not breaking my personal goal to go and spend money to spend $7 on a latte. It's not happening because I have goals and I'm stronger than that. And every time you flex that muscle saying no to online shopping, let's think about this. If you even talk about a pair of shoes or you talk about anything, now all your social media is popping up with those in your face,
Mhm.
right? You're
Yep.
seeing those shoes, you're seeing that vacation. Everything is created out there to get us to spend money. So when you can say no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I have goals. Having that envelope system again, or the 50-30-20 rule, it might take you time to figure out what works for you, and that's okay. But as you say no to these things, you get stronger. Okay, and it's not as hard. But when you're first beginning in this, it is going to be like, this does not feel comfortable. I like to shop online at night when the kids are in bed and it's my time. Save it to your cart. Don't press go. Whatever you do. But I will tell you, when you're not carrying over that debt from month to month and you have money in your savings account, it's going to feel so much better than that little online purchase that you were maybe about to make.
Great. I love your little tip, Susanna, and that story was a great story.
Thank you. So, how to grow your savings. Okay, you guys, you see those commercials out there? Truly Shop Insurance. And if you moved, just so you know, if you moved recently and look it up first. But if it's labeled a safe driver zone, your insurance, car insurance could go down 40%. Another tip is
Wow.
let me help you boost your credit score. Did you know that your credit score is tied to your car insurance premiums? So if you feel like all of a sudden your car insurance premiums went up and you don't understand why, let's take a look at your credit. I can help boost it for you for free and get your score healthy so you're paying less money. But absolutely follow these tips here around little savings tips here at the grocery store. Think about your cable bill, your insurance. And again, that 24-hour rule. When you are doing the online shopping, pause, don't press go. Is this really worth me breaking my budget to buy this item? But I'm telling you, never it turns out how it looks on Instagram anyway, right? So these are just some tips to help you save. And don't ever underestimate store brands. Do not buy store brand Oreos or ketchup. That's just my advice. But sometimes store brands taste either just as good or better than the name brand. So just and another little tip, Bethany, have you ever been to the grocery when you're hungry? Did you ever go to the
Oh,
grocery
yes.
hungry?
I want to buy everything.
So what happens when you get another little tip when you go to the grocery and you're just going for a gallon of milk, do not grab a cart. Because what happens, and don't go hungry. So what happens if you go to the grocery and you got that little hunger in your belly, you're grabbing that milk, all of a sudden you're looking down, that milk looks so lonely. It needs some cookies. Well, now the cookies look lonely. They need tacos for tomorrow night. You're not even gonna be home tomorrow night. You work late or you have kids have sports. So whatever you do, if you're just going for one item, grab that gallon of milk, carry it. Okay. A lot of people now do that pickup, right? Where they pull up, they bring the groceries out because you're not tempted. I don't go to the grocery. My husband, I can't say he won't allow me because it sounds bad, but when he knows I'm going to go to the grocery, he gets scared because I am that kid in the candy store when I go to the grocery because I never go. So I'm looking at everything like that Panera soup that's $10. I want it. So I try to stay away. But when I do go to the grocery, I have a list and I stick to my list. I do not divert off that list. So creating a list, being realistic at your schedule. So if you are in a season where you have family and sports are going to pick up, or you're at soccer all the time right now, right? Are you going to be home to cook or do you need a meal prep the night before so you have an easy dinner for the next evening? Looking ahead, it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. It's not as wasteful. You don't want that. Groceries are expensive. You don't want them to go to waste, right? So look at your schedule ahead. See, okay, do I need to buy this? Am I going to use it? Just having a plan, even when going to the grocery, having a little game plan won't hurt.
Right. And something that I know I need to do, and I see your middle bullet point here is evaluate your subscriptions.
Oh
I'm a
yes.
person that doesn't watch TV, but when I turn the TV on for some reason, I see all of these different apps, and I'm like, how many of these are we actually paying for? So I really need to audit our subscriptions, and we're not home a lot, so there's probably some of them that we could cut out for sure.
Absolutely. So that's something my husband and I do. We go through our subscriptions and we will do that little free trial and we'll binge watch a show and then we'll cancel it. So we're not going to pay a lot. And a lot of people say, I say, look at your gym memberships. Like, oh, I have Planet Fitness. It's only $10 a month. But you're not going. So not only is that $10 a month, $120 a year, but they also charge you a $50 fee every year. So if I would give you that cash, would you just go flush it down the toilet? No, right? So why are you doing that now? So even if it's only $10 a month, freeze these things. This is your money you work hard for. Everyone listening to this, DSPs, you have my heart. You do life changing work. You work hard every single day. Think about your money differently. Do that zero based budget where you're giving it a job. Maybe that'll help you look at it differently. But all these different tools and resources, they sound like a lot, but you have me. You can reach out to me anytime. So I can help make this not so scary, make it fit more for your family. And then you know what? Maybe you try the 50-30-20. It works great for you, right? So Bethany's going to try that next. She's tried the envelope method before, the old way. I'm going to have her try the new way. But these are just different tips just to help you feel encouraged, empowered around your finances. You're not alone out there. I will tell you from being a single mom, my credit was in the 400s. I never could get approved for anything. It was a very hard life, right? And now my passion is helping empower others around their credit score because I want you to go to car lot and you choose what car you're going to buy, not them tell you, well, you can choose between these three cars, right? No, I want to empower you. So we are a free resource. You can reach out to me whenever you need to. Even if it's not today, maybe it's 5 months from now, but you'll have my contact information in the show notes. So please feel free to reach out. I'm here. I'm here whenever you need me. And then here you go. So thank you. Thank you so much for my time to share with you today. Again, here's a QR code where you can reach out. I'm Susanna. Linda is my amazing business partner. She can help you if you need help getting a car loan, if you need help getting a credit card, you've been denied before. She is your person. For everything banking and work life, you can reach out to me, scan this QR code. Even if you just need a checking and savings account, there are exclusive cash bonus offers available to you, loan discounts, a free checking and savings. So, whatever your banking needs or financial needs are, you can reach out to me anytime and I'll take good care of you.
Wow, Susanna, that was a lot of information. Thank you
Hmm.
so much for sharing. I can't wait to hear what you have for us next. What are you thinking about for our next series?
Well, being that I'm so passionate around credit, I feel like budgeting. Now you got your finances in place, we're gonna start saving money. Now let's talk about credit. Let's boost that credit score, make it the healthiest we can. So if you want to buy a home at First Financial, we actually have a program that's 102% financing. Okay, so you can buy a home with no money down. There are income
Oh,
requirements on that. I think you can make a little shy of $86,000, but you don't have to have any money down. You literally can buy a house. So we have great programs out there if you want to learn more, please reach out. But we just want to help you feel empowered and know that you can buy a home, you can save, you can have strong credit. It's not as far as away as you might think. So this is just a resource that you can utilize if you'd like to help empower you towards those goals.
yeah, I love that. And I love that, we kind of started off with the whole budgeting aspect. So then, we've got a little bit of time. Susanna will be joining us again next month. So maybe our homework between now and next month is to pull out our budget and our highlighters like Susanna suggested. And,
Hmm.
maybe I'll be brave enough to share like how much I actually do spend eating out when I go through and I
Yeah.
highlight my bank statements.
I think we should hold Bethany
Okay.
accountable to find out how much she's spending. Because I will tell you, again, even with my Starbucks, it was an eye opener. I did not think I spent that much. I was so shocked. So just breaking down your budget, and don't be scared to do so. I think it's a good wake up call, and it does kind of get you more inspired to save money when you see, oh my goodness, I'm spending that much. And Amazon addiction is real. Oh my gosh, I'm spending so much at Amazon. So even just setting yourself a goal, and I challenge everyone listening and watching this to maybe find $50 in your budget, $50 a month that you can apply towards either debt, savings, something else, right? Not going towards a want, right? What can you put that $50 towards? So that is my challenge to everyone listening is find $50 your budget that you can put into a savings or pay down debt. Do something to empower your financial future.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, Susanna. We look forward to our next, what will we call it, our next installment of the Financial
Yes.
Fitness series. So we'll be back again next month with Susanna. Everyone, take care. And remember, you can find the Direct Line podcast on YouTube. You can also find it on Lighthouse Cove TV Plus.org, and you can also get it anywhere on anywhere that you stream your
Hmm.
podcast. So you can get those audio versions too, and maybe listen in the car. And then if you want to, find that QR code or, see something that Susanna was talking about, then just go back to the YouTube channel or lighthousecove.org to actually see the slides. So
Yes.
until next time, thank you.
Stay empowered. Bye, everybody.
With the launch of Lighthouse Cove, our work continues with the growing and renewed direction of our podcast, The Direct Line. With conversations, stories, and on-location interviews, The Direct Line supports the mission of Lighthouse Cove to educate, elevate, and empower professionals across the IDD field. Tune in to the Direct Line podcast, brought to you by Lighthouse Cove every Thursday on YouTube and all other podcast platforms. Lighthouse Cove, it's more than a name. It's who we are.